All right, so our next task is we want to create a statement of cash flows to track and see how cash is moved around the company over the year. So I'm going to add a new worksheet. This one will be called Statement of Cash Flows. And we'll type in the following information. So this is once again for Elvis Products International. This is a statement of cash flows for the year ended December 31st, 2020, with $, eventually being thousands. So cash flows from operations. This will include net income, depreciation expense, change in accounts receivable, change in inventories, change in accounts payable, change in other current liabilities, total cash flows from operations. We'll then have cash flows from investing. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. So I'll use that same phrase again here in just a second. One change is change in plant and equipment. So this will now be total cash flows from investing. And we'll have cash flows from financing. Copy that again. So we have change in short-term notes payable, change in long-term debt, change in common stock, and then cash dividends paid to shareholders. So that wraps up our total cash flows from financing. And if we did everything right, this will give us our net change in cash balance. All right, so now getting to the crux of this, what's happening. So first we're going to look at any cash flow we get from changes in net income. So this will be equal to, so this is coming from the income statement. All right, so that's just going to be the 2020 net income. So I'll hit equal from that. Next is depreciation expense. So this will be equal to, I'll go back to the income statement, and you can see there's depreciation expense for 2020. Next, we're going to look at change in accounts receivable. So that's from the balance sheet. So this is from 2019 to 2020. We'll take the difference here. You'll have a negative number. We'll also do the same thing for change in inventories. See if we can just drag that down. And in this case, we can. Change in accounts payable, so that'll be equal to, go back to balance sheet, accounts payable. Now for this one, it's going to be the opposite way because it's a difference of source and uses of cash. So with this particular one, we're getting more money from our accounts payable. So I'll take that difference the other way from 2020 minus the 2019. And then I will need to do the same thing for the current liabilities. That one is moved down differently, so I got to go back to the balance sheet and actually put that in. And then in the C column, I will total all this up. Cash flows from investing, the only thing was change in plant and equipment. So I'll go equal balance sheet. We can see that the plant and equipment, we spent more on it. So the difference between 2019 minus 2020 again. So you can see with the assets, you're doing 2019 minus 2020. The liabilities, owner's equity is the opposite way. So 2020 minus 2019. So then that, we can just equal that. And then cash flow from financing. So now going back to short-term notes payable, so balance sheet. So this one will be equal to the 2020 number minus the 2019 number. Change in long-term debt, so equal, back to balance sheet, long-term debt. So we got more money from our long-term debt financing. change in common stock. We'll go ahead and put that in there. There was nothing, but just in case that ever changes, want to capture that. And our last one here is cash dividends paid to shareholders.